Good evening, class. My name is Andrew, and for tonight's presentation, I'm going to be going over leadership. I am fortunate enough to not only be in Dr. Hebler's organizational behavior course, but also in his business leadership course. And so over this past semester, I've learned a lot about leadership and have decided to spend the next 3 to 5 minutes imparting some of the things that I learned about leadership. Leadership is very hard and complex, and it takes a long time to learn, and so it's very hard to impart to you guys a lot of that leadership within a 3 to 5 minute video. So rather than going over all of leadership and summarizing it, I've decided to just focus on one aspect that I think will give you guys the most knowledge and success within the confines of the time allotted for this video. Of course, there is a difference between what is a manager and what is a leader. Managers do the right things and leaders do what's right. And I think that an important part of leadership is supporting those that are underneath us, that follow us. And so what you can see in this diagram is the components of organizational success: vision, skills, incentives, resources, and action plan. And a leader is in control of all of these. A leader controls the vision of organization, the skills of the employees, and who he hires and what skills they have, the incentives, the resources, and the action plan of an organization. If all these are in place, then there is organizational success. But what you can see in this diagram is that if there's components of organizational success that is missing, you can see the outcomes on the right-hand side. If there is no vision, there's no one steering the ship through turbulent times, there's confusion by the employees. I think an important part of leadership is managing expectations, giving expectations to the employees, the tasks that they have to do, and the level to which they need to accomplish those tasks. And without that from a leader, then there's confusion. And an organization basically meanders and doesn't have any sort of growth. If employees don't have the proper skills, then they become anxious. They believe that they're going to fail, that they're going to be replaced or fired, because they don't believe that they can achieve the tasks that have been given to them. Without incentives, whether they be to increase a behavior or decrease a behavior, then there is gradual change within the organization. If the employees don't believe that there's any sort of motivating factor for the behaviors, then they resort to the behaviors that they want, rather than the organization's behaviors that are most beneficial for it. And so a lot of times you'll see without incentives that people become lazy or not willing to engage in the work that's been given to them. If a leader does not supply the proper resources to the people that are following them within an organization, then the people become frustrated. These people have every single component that they need in order to achieve organizational success, minus the resources in order to achieve their tasks. And so that creates a lot of anger, a lot of spite. People believe that their leader is not allowing them to achieve the success that they know they can achieve. And ultimately, you'll see employees leave organizations that they aren't supplied the proper resources for. Finally, a leader must develop an action plan. Without an action plan, there's false starts within an organization. A leader must come up with a clear and concise plan, and the plan must be clearly communicated to his followers. If this does not happen, you'll see all of these things happen, people willing to make change. Unfortunately, the change never comes and is not properly implemented because there's no plan to follow. So the great part about this diagram is that it coordinates the emotion to the area of organizational success that is missing. And so what I've been doing recently is every single day thinking about what emotion am I feeling. So sometimes at work I feel happy, sometimes I feel sad, other times I might feel confusion or anxiety. And when I feel those emotions, I'm able to use this diagram to find out the area in the organization that is lacking. And so this has given me a lot of insight as it comes to leadership in terms of where I need to focus on. An example of this would be when I was at work and I was assigned a large project. But I was feeling a lot of confusion about the project. I didn't know exactly what I was supposed to be doing. So because of this chart, I was able to see that there was a lack of vision. I didn't know what was expected of me. What was the organization looking for in this project? And because of this, I was able to identify that there was this vision problem and was able to coordinate with my boss to define the rules, to define the expectations of this project. And so ultimately, I was able to reduce the confusion that I was feeling by having a vision given to me. And so this is sort of a great example of how you can use this chart within your organization to find out what aspect of leadership you need to work on. I've hoped you've enjoyed today's presentation, and we'll take any questions that you may have.